The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, I'm Rex Lita with the news at 6. In this edition, Gaekeke settlers enjoy new sports oval. Ihu TB ward band to the ground. And women's softball team to assemble in Pong. Festive season in Jiwaka province was celebrated peacefully, says Jiwaka Provincial Police Commander, Chief Inspector Laimo Asi. Asi said there were no major crimes reported during the Christmas and New Year season. However, only minor homebrew and marijuana cases were reported. The perpetrators have been arrested and charged. Asi thanked his police personnel for patrolling during the festive season to ensure that crimes are limited, and thanked the people of Jiwaka for assisting the police to maintain peace and good order this festive season. As he added that as part of the festive season, police operations, they have imposed liquor ban on November 18th, 2024. The ban is still active in the province. Babies born this year, 2025, will begin the newest Generation Beta, and members of the Generation Beta will be born between the years of 2025 and 2040. According to the UNIS Hanoi, this generation will be the first to live in the world where artificial intelligence and automation are a part of everyday life.
Generation Beta, which is a demographic group, comes after Generation Alpha, with members born in the years 2010 and ends in 2024. In the month of December 2024, the Port Moresby General Hospital recorded a total of 1,118 deliveries in the labour ward. This covers the last lot of members for Generation Alpha. Generation Beta represents the dawn of a new era. They will grow up in a world shaped by breakthroughs in technology, evolving social norms, and an increasing focus on sustainability and global citizenship, stated on McCrindle. According to UNIS Hanoi, Generation Beta will be the first to live in a world where artificial intelligence and automation are a part of everyday life, in addition to other vast technological advancements to come. Many members of Gen Beta are expected to live into the 22nd century. Babies born in 2025 will be 76 years old when the year 21,001 comes around. On the 1st of January 2024, the Port Moresby General Hospital Labour Ward delivered 14 babies that were live births as of midday, and more delivered by the end of the first day of 2025. Jasmine Irajak, TVWAN News.
The Rabaul wards of Rabaul district, the resettlement wards of Rabaul district in East New Britain province for the first time celebrated New Year with competitions at the new Rabaul Gaekeke Sports Oval on Wednesday, January 1st. Events coordinator of the Rabaul Gaekeke Sports Association, Solomon Darius, outlined that the people can now observe and celebrate events because of their new modern facilities.
A large number of women and children turned up at the new Rabaul Gaekeke Sports Oval on Wednesday, January 1st, to enjoy a full day of fun and games, food and prizes. This is the first time the Rabaul Gaekeke Sports Association, with the support of local leader and provincial member Michael Marum, the Kombu LLG and other stakeholders, hosted an event specifically for its youth and children. Events coordinator of the Rabaul Gaekeke Sports Association, Solomon Darius, stated that they started the New Year celebrations on December 31st, 2024, while church rallies have been ongoing in the evenings since December 28. A number of boys and men tried to climb the greasy pole, which was laden with rugby merchandise, junk food and 300 kina cash. Within 30 minutes, a man from Rabaul conquered the greased-up wooden tower. He blew a kiss to the organizers before claiming his cash prize. Darius said the community is able to enjoy their programs because they now have facilities that can cater to that.
The people of Gaekeke in the Central Nakanai LLG in the West New Britain province are the proud recipients of the Lucas Meal to help them with the housing project. The meal, a belated Christmas present, was gifted by the local MP and Minister for Oil Palm, Francis Maneke, on New Year's Eve.
Gaekeke is a small but vibrant community in the Central Nakanai LLG in West New Britain province. It is known for its resilience and close-knit relationships. The villagers are subsistence farmers and take pride in their self-sufficiency. On New Year's Eve, local MP Francis Maneke visited the community to offer some support. Women adorned in traditional costumes as well as men, and children in cheerful outfits fill the space, creating a tapestry of culture and joy. During his address, he presented the Lucas sawmill to help with the Gaekeke housing project.
Delegates, member, one-time community. This last ceremony, the Enoa, and Masini go down law, or Manmeri law community.
He then presented them with some funds to begin work on the housing project.
Jumlah olim deslamani 10,000 kina, lo ba petrol na, ba oil na, simol workman na ibla stati work, na make ito ibla kam na give good report so we can continue sa.
Maneke urged the people to take ownership of the mill and look after such. Jasmine Irujak, TVWAN News.
In November and December 2024, IOM conducted training sessions in displacement tracking metrics and projection in the autonomous region of Bougainville, Anga, Western Highlands, Jiwaka and Chimbu. The training targeted local authorities, communities and partners, and sessions delivered focused on improving data collection, analysis and reporting, as well as enhancing protection mainstreaming in humanitarian operations. The training was attended by over 150 participants and sought to enhance their skills and knowledge in addressing disaster displacement. Participants commended the initiative, emphasizing its role in improving evidence-based responses, and acknowledged the training's practical benefits and its impact on community disaster preparedness. This is TVWAN News. Among stories after the break, CMSA extension review progress well for Oktedi mine communities.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Welcome everyone, my name is Bhumi.
I won't let you give up on your dreams. You've worked so hard for them. You can easily find a job here in Ujjain.
A job? I think that you have made a mistake.
I think we should ask the children first.
In my family, we don't allow the children to overrule. They respect the decisions made by all of the elders.
Let me take you back. We've lost what pure street racing was. That's about to change. Getting back to my roots, getting back on the street. Yeah, I love this car. We're here. It's time. Let's see what we're going to do. This is a whole different game. I'm pretty good at this racing thing.
Street Outlaws starts Tuesday 7:30 on Turbo.
Welcome back. The International Organization for Migration, in partnership with the Department of Community Government and District Affairs and the Bougainville Disaster and Emergency Directorate, recently delivered training in the mass evacuation in disasters. Funded by the USAID Bureau for Humanitarian Assistance, the training brought together key stakeholders, frontline responders, and representatives from at-risk communities in Torokina and Wakunai districts. The training marked the first of its kind in the autonomous region of Bougainville, addressing key disaster management priorities. Acting Director of the Bougainville Disaster and Emergency Directorate, John Lokobau, highlighted that the training aligns with the Papua New Guinea National Disaster Rescue Framework 2017 to 2030 and the draft Bougainville Disaster Management Plan 2024 to 2030. It was an unfortunate event on the eve of New Year, Tuesday the 31st of December, when the Ihu Health Center TB ward went up in flames. Police are treating the fire as an arson.
Ihu Health Center TB ward, after being housed in a very rundown facility. The people of Ihu received a new TB ward built by the Medicine Sans Frontiers, a foreign humanitarian organization. The facility is a gift handed over to the Gulf Provincial Health Authority in 2019. This important facility was built as part of the province's TB emergency response to address the TB epidemic in 2014 in Gulf Province, bringing services to the doorsteps of the people and communities and containing the widespread TB. The health facility for many years lacked nurses or health extension officers, with only one community health worker now present. Officer in charge and community health worker Rhonda Guerra says the cause of the fire is yet to be established. She said burning down the TB ward will only deny the people access to TB treatment and services. Meantime, the Gulf Provincial Health Authority is yet to make a formal statement on the incident as investigations continue. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
The year 2024 has closed in with a number of priority areas addressed. However, there is more work needed to be done in the new year, says the Highlands Farmers Association. The association is planning for a better year in projects already lined up. President of the Highlands Farmers Association, Wilson Thompson, is adamant things will improve this year after a few projects were passed in 2024. Thompson said the farmers in the Highlands have plans to improve their yields. They have vowed to create opportunities instead of waiting on authorities and the government. They wanted businesses to move to increase their capacity to buy, process and sell, or even provide extension and training support. Thompson said the farmers' approach even forced government agencies to change their approach to providing public goods and services, including direct interventions. The Pacific Islands Forum Deputy Secretary General Strategic Policy and Programs, Esala Nayasi, presented for the Secretariat at the oral proceedings of the International Court of Justice on 13th December 2024, which was delivered following the earlier written submissions made earlier in 2024. The Secretariat's submissions call for a number of key considerations for the ICJ to take into account when determining its advisory opinion on the legal obligations of and legal consequences for states under international law when failing to protect the climate system and environment.
Pacific Islands Forum members have been a strong and leading force following Vanuatu's efforts in securing the unanimous adoption of the March 2023 UNGA resolution, enabling the UN Secretary-General to formally request the ICJ to commence the proceedings. Pacific Islands Forum Deputy Secretary-General, Strategic Policy and Programs, Esala Nayasi, described that the forum leaders have always recognized that climate change is the single greatest threat to the livelihoods, security, and well-being of the people. He highlighted the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent as the overarching blueprint to advance Pacific regionalism for the next 3 decades, articulating the region's long-term vision, values, and key thematic areas and strategic pathways to addressing these issues. He discussed the legal elements on the forum's positions, particularly and specifically with respect to maritime zones, statehood, and the protection of persons, with an emphasis on the duty to cooperate. He highlighted the forum's positions as enshrined in the 2021 Declaration on Preserving Maritime Zones in the Face of Climate Change-Related Sea Level Rise and the 2023 Declaration on the Continuity of Statehood and the Protection of Persons in the Face of Climate Change-Related Sea Level Rise. Mr. Nayasi said the court should also emphasize the duty to cooperate in ensuring the protection of persons affected by climate change-related sea level rise. The ICJ advisory opinion is expected to be released in 2025. Meantime, PNG's efforts to tackle climate change, led by Foreign Affairs Minister Justin Jachenko, saw PNG's non-participation in COP29 in November 2024, a decisive move recognizing that not much traction has been made to help small states, particularly Pacific Island small states who have had much difficulty with access to climate finance, over the recent years despite making high-level representation at their UN FCCC COP meetings. Maricela Kelaton, TVWAN News.
Prime Minister James Marape today commended the Chinese government for its commitment to strengthening bilateral trade ties by granting Papua New Guinea access to its vast agricultural market. This milestone, facilitated through the National Agriculture Quarantine and Inspection Authority, is expected to unlock significant economic opportunities for PNG producers. To further enhance PNG's ability to capitalize on these markets, the government is considering the establishment of a national export agency. This agency would coordinate the export of PNG's agricultural and food produce, ensuring that farmers and producers have direct access to international markets. Oak Teddy Mining Limited received the prestigious award for its submission, developing a successful rehabilitation methodology for the flat areas of mine tailings stockpile in a high rainfall environment, a case study of OTML's big operations during the PNG Investment Week in Sydney, Australia in December last year. The award falls under the PNG Chamber of Resources and Energy's Outstanding Environment or Climate Change Initiative Award category.
Oak Teddy Mining received the prestigious award for its submission, developing a successful rehabilitation methodology for the flat areas of mine tailings stockpiles in a high rainfall environment, a case study of OTML's bigger operations. For over a decade since the start of operations in 1981, a riverine tailings disposal method was used, resulting in extensive environmental impact on indigenous communities along the Oak Teddy and Fly River systems. A dredging operation was initiated at Bige, 30 kilometers downstream from the mine, to dredge sand from mine tailings out of the Oak Teddy River and store it in engineered stockpiles on the riverbanks. These new stockpile landforms are required under the company's environmental permit to be managed for long-term stability. Thus, a rehabilitation program was introduced in 2009 to establish a self-sustaining native vegetation cover that protects the long-term integrity of the stockpile. Over the years, several revegetation methods have been trialed to get the formula right. Through innovative approaches, improvements on rehabilitation performance are being witnessed. General Manager Social Sustainability and Performance, Jesse Pile, said this key operation ensures OTML continues to receive the social license from the local community for mine operations to continue. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
Oak Teddy Mining Limited General Manager Social Sustainability and Performance Jesse Pile, the dredging team deals with materials that has metals and is devoid of organics that support plant growth. They also deal with materials that vegetation species are not so familiar with. And so it has been a struggle to get this formula right in terms of species, application method, ground preparation, and getting the right balance of the sediments that it put into the river system from the hill. Over 10 million cubic meters of sand is pledged annually and stockpiled in an area covering 1,000 hectares, with an annual average of 30 to 40 hectares rehabilitation annually. Mr. Piller said around 300 employees and contractors work at the big operation site to ensure OTML meets its obligations to various stakeholders. In the market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2499 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2424, $0.3896 Australian dollars, €0.2268 and 37.85 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, cocoa, copra, palm oil, and crude oil closed higher, while coffee and copper closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. You're watching TV1 News. We'll have news from overseas after these short messages. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Every day, 180 million litres of water pumps into Port Moresby. Every day, its journey to your household tap is made safe at this water treatment plant. Every day, raw water is filtered, disinfected and purified so that you and your loved ones have access to clean, usable water. For 65 years, our water treatment technology has been hard at work. But now, it needs to hit pause. Port Moresby's population has increased 500% since the treatment plant was built, putting enormous pressure on the water supply network. We need to hit pause so that the filtering equipment can be repaired, maintained, upgraded, so that the water you use and consume continues to be safe. For more information, visit our Facebook page.
TVWAN Online has replaced LoopPNG, and with one click on tvwan.com.pg, you can stay connected to PNG's breaking news, top stories, international news, and the latest sporting action. Don't miss out. Visit tvwan.com.pg and bookmark to your home screen to stay in the know wherever you are in PNG. TV1 Online, the news source you can trust, just one click away.
You gotta get out of your shell, buddy. Ask her to dance.
You got moves, girl.
What'd you say to me? Look out! This may be the furthest I've ever been. It feels amazing!
Oh, this my jam.
How you like me now?
Oh, yeah. How you doing?
You know, lost and afraid for my life. Other than that, can't complain.
Come on!
Under the Boardwalk premieres Saturday, January 4th, 9 p.m. on HBO.
Meet an unlikely band of musicians. They may be little, but they have a big sound.
What? How hard could it be if babies can do it? You have to teach me everything you know.
Join their rhythm-filled daycare adventures.
I'm a star!
Mini Beat Power Rockers. Your Cartoonito Star of the Month. Every day, 7 a.m. on Cartoonito.
Welcome back. Port Vila's central business district, usually buzzing with holiday activity, is still closed to the public more than 2 weeks after a deadly magnitude 7.3 earthquake struck and killed 14 people. Where pedestrians sometimes cram into sidewalks, there's empty space, a surreal sight for the city's residents. Vanuatu's week-long state of emergency has lifted, Port Vila's International Airport has reopened, and electricity and water have returned to more than 95% of the city. But as the country begins its post-disaster recovery, early building assessment show earthquakes damage has made some of the Port Vila's CBD buildings too unsafe to occupy. many more businesses are in uncharted territory. Business owners say the aftermath of the earthquake is different. 2025 has arrived with revelers around the world celebrating with family, friends, fireworks and fun. In South Australia, hundreds of thousands gathered at party precincts, packed into pubs and met in backyards across the state to see off 2024 and welcome the new year with a bang. Police say despite 72 arrests, they were happy with people's behaviour.
As the sun set on 2024, partygoers flooded hotspots around the city, from Hindley Street to Glenelg, along the River Torrens at Elder Park and Semaphore, coming together to celebrate the year that was and sharing their hopes for 2025.
I like to see the wars finish.
Level up my grades, travel a lot more, meet a lot of new people. I'm leaving behind bad vibes, usually boys.
I'll get bigger muscles. Yeah, hit the gym more, you know.
Beaches, parks and party precincts were packed, with some sharing a kiss with a special person at the stroke of midnight. Police have praised the behaviour of the majority of revellers, with 72 arrests made overnight, but 3 high-range drink drivers were caught in the early hours of the morning.
All of those drivers immediately lost their licences on the spot for 12 months and their cars were impounded.
A brawl erupted on New Year's Day on a public bus, with 19 people aged between 13 and 58 arrested over the incident. It was a special New Year's Day for the Websters, welcoming their first child and one of the first babies born in the state in 2025. Tallulah Rose arrived at 7:33 a.m, weighing 3.6 kilograms, 13 days earlier than her due date.
We're saying it would be really cool if a baby was born on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve.
An eventful way to begin 2025.
Happy New Year!
Thousands of people across Western Australia have welcomed the new year with festivities in Perth, including 2 huge fireworks displays. Temperatures soared as the celebrations continued today, with many spending the first day of the year at the beach.
As the sun set on 2024, thousands of Western Australians flocked to the coast to celebrate. Early events in Fremantle and Elizabeth Quay had a family focus.
It's so nice to be with all the families, all the kids, having a great time here. Everybody's having a good dance.
With the kids in bed, revellers kicked on, with more than 100,000 people flooding events across the city.
No better place on earth to be here in Perth on New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year! And 2025 was welcomed with a bang, with firework displays at 8:30 and midnight.
It just looked beautiful, like one of the best fireworks I've ever seen.
The night ended early for some, with more than 120 arrests across the state. It was also a test of WA's new knife laws, with hundreds of scans, but fewer than 10 edged weapons seized. But police say the crowds were largely well behaved.
Most of West Australians enjoy the night. They bring families, they bring kids, and they have a good time, and that's what we want too.
With temperatures heading for the high 30s in Perth, many enjoyed the first day of the year by the beach. Some started with exercise, others reflected on their goals for the new year.
Learn to be happy within myself.
Just excited for what's ahead. It's a blank canvas. We get to create whatever we like.
Turning a new page for a new year.
Police in Fiji are investigating the alleged assault of Virgin Australian crew members during a night out on New Year's Eve in the tourist town of Nadi. Fijian authorities said the alleged incident involving 2 crew members, a man and a woman, occurred outside the Bar One nightclub in the early hours of Wednesday morning. Assistant Police Commissioner Mesake Waka said the man was robbed and the woman was sexually assaulted. In a statement on Facebook, Fiji's Tourist Minister Vila Gaekeke said a suspect in relation to the alleged sexual assault had been questioned. Acting Police Commissioner Ihu TB said the suspects were locals and no arrest had been made yet. While most Australians get some time off at this time of the year, not everyone fully disconnects from work. But there are hopes that will change after new laws gave workers the right to refuse contact outside of rostered hours.
I think probably talking about what we've been focusing on.
Patients at this Adelaide clinic are often seeking help for work-related stress, something senior psychotherapist Rana Kirchner can understand.
It's definitely hard at times to leave work at work.
Since August, millions of workers have been given the right to disconnect, the ability to reasonably refuse contact, such as calls and emails, outside of work hours.
For me personally, it definitely meant permission to do things like silencing, emails, just actually getting rid of notifications altogether on my days off and on weekends.
So far, not a single case has been heard by the industrial umpire, meaning people like Rana's boss are working it out with their staff.
Increasingly, my responsibility is to role model what is good boundaries between work and home.
I think we've seen, by and large, businesses and employees alike really embrace this right to disconnect.
The laws came in response to the so-called digital leash of technology and the compulsion of employees to answer calls, texts and emails outside of paid hours.
It's just saying hold off and give people a break when they are at home, because we're seeing now this constant need to be connected.
The legislation doesn't mean your boss can't contact you, just that you might not have to answer.
It's just trying to give workers a reprieve in a way to say, hey, you're okay, you can actually have a break.
Work-life balance is on the mind of all Australian employees, and maintaining productivity is on the mind of all Australian employers.
More people will soon get the right to disconnect. From August, employees at 2.5 million small businesses will be covered by the laws as well.
Scientists believe a 13 million-year-old snapping turtle fossil on display at the Museum and Art Gallery of the Northern Territory is a previously unknown species. It's thought the giant carnivorous snapping turtle lived in central Australia, lurking in the shallow water of creeks and rivers.
It started with a hunch that there was something unusual about a display at the Northern Territory's Museum and Art Gallery.
I'd had my eye on this particular fossil, but it was on display and I had many other jobs to be getting on with.
Another expert suggested Dr. Yates take another look, and they found their specimen's shell had a completely unique feature.
It had a peculiar thick shape with an extra little process sticking down that basically told us that it wasn't like anything that had been found before.
Now named Elsia mudbara, the large carnivorous turtle lived at the northern edge of the Tanami Desert 13 million years ago, when the landscape was completely different.
Back then we would have had forests, and in those forests would have lived giant birds, big, tall, 3-metre flightless birds like Dromornis, large browsing marsupials, quadrupedal marsupials related to wombats.
Dr. Yates is part of a dedicated team of scientists who've unearthed new species at fossil dig sites around Central Australia, which are housed among a massive collection of animal specimens underneath the museum.
We have individual specimens in our collection, but we also have lots of jars, drums, vats of things. So at Magnet we've got just over 830,000 lots in terms of individual animals, that's millions.
A collection that likely includes other unknown animals from the distant past.
For those things that have been there for decades perhaps and we haven't looked at, or we don't know much about that kind of taxa or that type of animal, there could be hundreds of undiscovered species in museums around the world, including ours.
Discovering Australia's prehistoric wildlife.
An Indonesian tiger owner who faced backlash after revealing 7 cubs died under his care says he is determined to keep owning the wild animals. While native Sumatran tigers are protected, imported Bengal tigers can be owned and traded in Indonesia, a top 10 country for the wildlife trade.
In a suburban house in the hills of the city of Bandung, some unusual backyard pets.
Oh, hello. Welcome to my home.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is the home of Alshad Ahmad, a 29-year-old YouTuber who is Indonesia's Tiger King.
Yeah, this is my meerkat.
Alshad's been building his home zoo for 5 years. Technically, it's a captive breeding program. There are 4 tigers here at the moment, and possibly more to come. How much can they mate in a day?
30 up to 50 times a day.
For how many days?
4 or 5 days.
So 4 or 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
And they can mate 30 to 50 times
Yeah.
per day.
Yeah.
Wow. That's stamina. But tiger cubs are a bit of a sore point here. Alshad's gained millions of followers online for videos of cubs roaming around the family's luxurious home. But when he revealed that 6 out of 7 born here died, the backlash was swift. What were they saying?
I cannot take care of tigers. I murder the tigers. Yeah, something like that.
He says the mother had problems feeding the cubs, and only when he intervened to bottle wean them with imported tiger milk did one cub finally survive.
Well, animals is very hard to take care of because they are very fragile. Yeah, they look like strong, but actually they are fragile.
Animal rights activists here say authorities in Indonesia are too willing to grant permits to keep tigers in the name of conservation.
When up to 6 cubs are dying one after the other, we have to ask what's wrong. We need to review this practice of keeping tigers and ask if the births are followed by deaths. How is it conservation?
But Alshad Ahmad says the conditions he operates in are strict and he has big plans for the future.
Eventually, at the end, we want to build a zoo.
With a range of other animals taking up his family's front and backyards, he's already on the way.
And that ends the news segment. Sports is next. Stay with us.
Welcome to Backyard!
Want more entertainment in your life?
What a cry, baby.
TV1 Plus has all your favorite drama to keep you entertained.
Time to give Mama all the kisses.
Perfect!
No! Please don't kill me!
Get TV1 Plus in the 20-channel prepaid pack and watch all your favorite drama non-stop. Watch TV1 Plus and 19 more great channels for your viewing pleasure.
So many have tried rocking with America.
Subscribe to TV1 Plus now on the 20-channel digital prepaid pack 1, 7, 14 or 30 and enjoy 20 channels of world-class entertainment.
And business blew me, Carlos, because me Mary blew you.
Thank you, princess.
How do I look today? Dial star 515 hash to subscribe now. Digital TV. More channels, more choice, more value.
Full show custom, that's what we want.
That's what we do around here. That ain't no stock regular no more. You're always trying to outdo yourself. People are gonna take notice for sure.
Get out the way. Oh, look at that.
Are you liking it? Trying not to cry.
Texas Metal, tonight, 8:30 on Turbo.
I need your skill set to save the entire free world. You ready?
No!
Sweet, let's go.
No, I said no!
The smarter play is if we split up.
You know what happens when people split up, Bob? Somebody dies.
I got a plan.
Central Intelligence.
Welcome back. In sports, Border Storms defeated Bomana Wild Ducks 12 points to 6 in the 2024-2025 NCD Governors Cup Rugby League competition cup playoffs today at the Coney Tigers Oval, setting up a mouth-watering preliminary finals match against 8 Mile Settlers this Friday. Bomana Storms dedicated this victory to teammate late Jeremiah Parisa, who suffered rib injury during the tournament and passed on. Opening try to Jordan Sampson set the platform for Border Storm to hold off a resilient Bomana Wild Ducks outfit who looked threatening to win. They had a handful of DGSL ExxonMobil Cup players in the team. The Border Storm played for more than a victory. They played for a teammate, the late Jeremiah Parisa, who sustained a rib injury during the tournament and passed on later in hospital. Team captain Jerry Kepa said they came with the belief they will win the game.
Player belum Boraston semanji number 2 belum Jeremiah Palisa Friday mibla bin play on Borogo Bulldogs na bin sim bagara blo ribs na mibla sim golausik na amsta Friday Saturday, Sunday, Monday na mlusi live shows. Lisa mibla respect him aste before lo mibla kan play aste mibla ko visit him lo mock mibla to 3 days mibla respect him so mibla talk now mibla balusi na tomorrow mibla ko play game. So mibla ko talk sawel all family all papa line all mama line mibla talk sawel on already see mibla one time good heart na good ability. So tla win lo mibla game golo late Jeremiah. Lagi win golo late Jeremiah na Wapstoni na coach Bimla. Border Storm's win against the Wild Ducks has set up a meeting against 8 Mile Settlers for the major semi-finals Friday 3rd December. The winner proceeds to the Cup Grand Final. The Bomana Wild Ducks, on the other hand, had won too many ball handling errors, denying them opportunities to score. Nevertheless, they accepted the victory. The 2024-2025 NCD Governors Cup Rugby League competition Grand Final will be held at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium this Sunday, January 5th. Scouts for the Port Moresby Vipers franchise are being reminded again to revisit an initial arrangement and understanding between Vipers Executive and NCD Governors Cup to use the off-season tournament as an alternative pathway for the Vipers to recruit potential rugby league talents into its pre-season squad in the train and trial arrangement. From there, they can be further upskilled and developed to become DGSL ExxonMobil Cup players.
Former Port Moresby Vipers and post-Puma hitman and now director of the NCD Governors Cup tournament, Billy Aki, is again bringing the issue up to the attention of Vipers hierarchy to be there on Sunday for the grand final of the 2024 NCD Governors Cup at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium, Konidobu, Port Moresby. Since making his return as tournament director after almost 10 years away from the game, Aki has seen a lot of exciting young rugby league talents coming through that must be captured in the Vipers system so they can be put through proper coaching program to develop their skills and understanding of the game.
So Vipers should be the best team in the NCDC. But why Vipers making through the digital cup? That's the problem up there. Like the NCDC Governors Cup today, it's sponsored along what was Vipers. Naming rights and NCDC and team naming rights along Vipers. And NCDC Governor funding Governors Cup into NCDC. But why now Vipers come around or games stumble of Governors Cup? But 80 teams, out of 80 teams of Governors Cup, you can pick the best up to the best. Long Port Moresby Vipers next year, 2025, Digital Cup. But our problem, Vipers management blame was one. That's why there's a director belong MCDC Governors Cup. Then me questioning just Wipers. Why now Wipers, come round long MCDC Governors Cup long 4 block corner where me blow hosting Governors Cup.
Speaking as a former Vipers player, Aki was emotionally touched seeing the foundation team playing second fiddle to recently established franchises, more so missing out, making the semi-final since their last grand final glory 10 years ago.
As a former some Wipers na Kumul na that's now some me come go pass la MCDC Governors Cup as a director. Me can looking some scaling some the Wipers to be the best long in terms of Papua New Guinea. Long standard of rugby league side. And we can top him up all Narlol province. Long players base. The players base is MCDC 80 teams. You can look in Vipers, la send on and select team. You can pick the best of the best like in terms of Governors Cup. So that's why Vipers na come. So now today me and the team publicly. Yeah? So me just opening door blow any franchise or team blow digital cup.
Meanwhile, NCDC Moniplas Port Moresby Vipers chairman Dr. Newton Albert recently announced to the 80-man teams taking part in the 2024 edition of the NCD Governors Cup tournament that an agreement will be officially signed to tie down players to be available only for the city franchise. The Vipers chairman stressed that they will have the rights over players as the NCD Governors Cup is supported by Governor Pakop and NCDC. He said a lot of Port Moresby players are being picked up by other franchises, which is why they want to establish some form of control to allow for proper release. Dr. Albert said Vipers will be scouting for fresh blood during the tournament as over 2,000 players, both experienced and grassroots talents, will be on show. He is urging everyone to come out and witness the grand final this Sunday at the Sir Hewitt Murray Stadium. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The PNG National Women's Softball Training Squad will be assembled in Port Moresby in 2 weeks' time to continue their preparations for this year's Mini Pacific Games in Palau in June and July. PNG Baseball Softball Confederation recently named a 30 women squad comprising players from the associations in Port Moresby, Kokopo, Rabaul, Gazelle, Bulumiski and Kavieng, including one from Australia. The squad was selected from last year's national softball titles in East New Britain.
According to PNG BSC Executive Consi Bias, the PNG National Women's Softball Training Squad for this year's Mini Pacific Games in Palau will come together for the first time in Port Moresby on 13th January 2025 to begin their formal training program. He said they are expecting players from Kokopo, Rabaul, Gazelle, Kavieng and Bulumunski to fly in next week onwards. The team will be joined by softball director and the 2015 Pacific Games gold medal winning coach Ken Selu from Australia.
So the PNG Women's Training Squad started training last month, and they have a break this festive season, 2-week break, and then they started back again on the 13th of January. So that's when the other players from the outside centers from Kokopo and Kavieng will fly in and join the team, and our head coach Ken Selu flies up from Australia. Yeah.
The 30 women extended squad is balanced with young and experienced players in the likes of favourite Florence Dapple, Francis Kinnett, Nadia Bias, Stephanie Manning, Tessa Karai, Gertrude and Lenmore Simba from Port Moresby, Rosa Myra, Emma Makis and Alostera from Kokopo. The training squad will go through some intensive and high-performance training routine. The team will be trimmed down to 15 travelling members. They will attend a tournament in Brisbane before the mini games from June 29 to July 9, 2025.
Softball director for PNG and is our head coach for the women's team. So he coached the women's team in the 2015 Pacific Games. They won gold against American Samoa. Now he's got the job again to take the team to Palau for the Mini SP Games next year.
Meanwhile, back to the Port Moresby domestic softball competition, Consi said After the festive break, they plan to have the AGM to elect new executives, followed by the corporate sevens in February and the money ball on Easter weekend, before the proper softball season gets into full swing after that, leading to the representative season. The softball calendar concludes with the National Club Championships in Kavieng in September 2025.
For next year, we'll firstly have our AGM. New executives will be elected for the president and vice president, as well as the games coordinator, because we'll be vacating our seats because we're in the PNG Federation now. So after the AGM, we'll have the corporate sevens in February, then Moneyball in Easter, and then the normal competition after that. And then we have the representative season, and then club championships in Kavieng in September.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Last year, 2024, was a great year for PNG Taekwondo. The highlight of the year being Taekwondo making the Olympic Games for the first time. It was a remarkable achievement for the sport. Despite their success, active Taekwondo clubs have called for the president to resign following allegations of administration incompetency and mismanagement. PNG Taekwondo Federation President John Cholai has been called on to step down from his position after active clubs cited allegations of administration incompetency and mismanagement. General Secretary of PNG World Taekwondo Edwin Kasman, in a series of letters, expressed the pressing demand from the 27 active PNG Taekwondo clubs around the country. Kasman stated that the clubs, including those in Bougainville, Chimbu, Eastern Highlands, and NCD want Cholai sidelined. Allegations include mismanagement of federation funds, nepotism with players, and failure to host an annual general meeting in the last 3 years. Kasman said the club alleged that Cholai had written to the PNG Olympic Committee and Oceania Taekwondo about his re-election, which they claim he held an illegal AGM and re-elected himself. This was later deemed null and void after a review of the PNG World Taekwondo Constitution. Ordinary member Jonathan Pascalis and Vice President Jamuga Stone have also been asked to step down from their respective roles, mainly for supporting Cholai and overlooking the PNG World Taekwondo Constitution. And now the weather forecast. In regional focus, southern, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, but mostly partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Kerema, partly cloudy with few showers. Alotau, some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Momase, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain. Lay, partly cloudy with possible rain showers. Wewak, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Medang, partly cloudy with few rain showers and possible thunderstorm. New Guinea Islands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lorengau, mostly cloudy with brief rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kokopo Rabaul, few rain and possible thunderstorms. And Buka, few rain showers. Highlands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy with some rain and possible thunderstorm. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea, sea smooth with west to southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots tending east. Solomon Sea, sea smooth with north to northwest winds of 5 to 10 knots. Bismarck Sea, sea smooth with northwest to northerly winds of 5 to 10 knots. And Pacific Ocean, sea smooth with northeast to northerly winds of 5 to 10 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border, to Daru to Kiwai Islands, to Kerema to Yule Island, to Hood Point to Samurai Islands. Waters of Samurai Island to Cape Vogel and All Million Bay Islands. And waters of New Island to East New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1 meters. Waters of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf, to Finschhafen. Waters of Finschhafen through Vitia Strait to Siasi Long Island. waters of Madang to Wewak, to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, and waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters, and waters of West New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. Pleasant viewing. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank